I'm 96 years old, and I need to tell you something about love. Something nobody wants to hear. You married the wrong person. I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain. This isn't about me being bitter, and it's not about telling you to leave your partner. But I'm going to tell you something that took me over 70 years to realize. It might just change how you see your own relationships. I've lived a lot of life, and there are things I wish I had known when I was younger. Things I wish I could go back and change. But we can't do that. Time is like sand through your fingers, slipping away no matter how hard you try to hold on to it. I was married to Linda for 64 years before she passed. It was a good marriage. At least, that's what I used to tell myself. People always told me how lucky I was, how we had the perfect love story. But the truth is, I was just lucky to be with her. She made me better, in ways I didn't even understand at the time.
But I didn't always know that. We didn't always see eye to eye, especially in the beginning. We were young when we married, and the world felt like it was full of promises and opportunities. I was 24 when I married Linda. She was beautiful, vibrant, and full of life. She had this infectious laugh, and the way she looked at the world, it was like she saw the magic in the smallest of things. I thought I had found the one person I was meant to spend my life with. We had a small wedding. I remember the simple yet beautiful ceremony, the way the sun filtered through the church windows, and the sound of people's voices blending in the air as we made our vows. I thought, this is it. We're going to build our life together. And we did, but not in the way I thought we would.
By year 3, things started to feel different. We fought more than I thought we would. We fought about money, about the way we raised our children, about how we spent our time. She wanted more of me, but I was always busy with work, always caught up in the day-to-day. And when I wasn't working, I was exhausted. Linda used to tell me she needed me to be more present, but I didn't know how to give her more of me. I thought what I was doing, providing for the family, working hard, was enough. I was wrong. By the time I was 30, I started to feel like maybe we weren't as perfect as I thought. I started wondering if I had married the wrong person. We weren't fighting all the time, but there was a distance between us, a quiet tension that grew over the years. We got along, but it wasn't like it was in the beginning. I started wondering if there was someone else out there, someone who could make me feel the way I did when we first met.
Then I had a conversation with my neighbor, Bill. He was older, had been married for over 40 years to his wife, Margaret. One evening, I was sitting on his porch, talking about the struggles Linda and I were having, and I asked him, "Do you ever wonder if you married the right person?" Bill just looked at me and said, "Son, we all marry the wrong person, but that doesn't mean you give up." That was the first time anyone had ever said that to me. I didn't know what to make of it at first. It felt wrong, like it wasn't supposed to be that way. But I thought about it for a long time after. I thought about how Linda and I had changed over the years, how we had grown in different directions. And I realized that Bill was right. I had been looking for someone who would fit into the box I had created for love and marriage. But love isn't like that. Love is about growing together, even when it feels hard, even when it feels like you're growing apart.
The years went on, and Linda and I had our ups and downs. We raised our children, built our home, and tried our best to make things work. There were times when I thought about walking away,
There were times when I didn't like her very much. And I'm sure there were times she didn't like me either. But I never left. Not because I was perfect, but because I had decided that this was the person I was going to stay with. The person I was going to grow with, even when it was hard. In our 40s, I found myself looking at Linda differently. The things that used to annoy me, the way she would talk to me about what I thought were little things, became things I looked forward to. We'd sit in the living room together. The kids were grown, and we had more time. Time to talk. Time to laugh. Time to remember what had brought us together in the first place. I started to realize that the woman I had married was not the woman I thought she was. She wasn't perfect, but neither was I. But we had built something together. We had a life. And that was more than enough. By the time I hit 60, I had stopped wondering if I married the right person. I knew now. I had married the right person not because she was perfect, but because we had chosen each other every day. There were years when I was distant, when I didn't listen, when I wasn't present, but Linda always was. Even when I wasn't what she needed, she never stopped choosing me. And that's when I realized that love isn't about finding someone who makes you happy all the time. It's about finding someone who's willing to keep choosing you, even when you're hard to choose. In our 70s, I started to see the softness in Linda, the vulnerability that I had never noticed when I was younger. She wasn't just my partner, she was my best friend. I had learned to appreciate the way she did the small things, how she would pick up my socks without saying a word, how she would laugh at my jokes even when they weren't funny. We didn't have to talk about everything. We didn't have to prove anything. We just were together. When Linda got sick, everything changed again. She had a stroke, and the woman who had been so strong and vibrant now needed me in ways I had never imagined. I had to take care of her, make decisions for her when she couldn't. And through that, I learned the most important lesson of all. Love isn't just about what you get, it's about what you give. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, even when you feel like you've given all you can give. It's about holding on to each other, even when you don't know what tomorrow will bring. When Linda passed, I felt lost. I had spent so many years looking for the right person, thinking that love was about perfection, about finding someone who would always make me happy. But I realized then that love isn't about finding the right person. It's about deciding to stay, deciding to build, and deciding to love even when it's hard. So, here I am at 96. I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything about love. But I do know this: love is a choice. It's not a feeling. It's not about finding someone perfect. It's about choosing them day after day, even when it's hard. And I would choose Linda over and over again for the rest of my life if I could. And that's what kept us together. It wasn't perfection. It was the choice to love despite imperfections. Over the years, we became different people, but we still chose each other every day. I'm 96 now, and Linda's been gone for 8 years. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about her. And if I could give you one piece of advice, it would be this: stop looking for perfection. Stop waiting for everything to fall into place. Make the choice to love the person you're with, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's when love grows the most. Linda and I didn't have the perfect marriage. There were times when I thought we might not make it. But in the end, I know we did. Because love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about deciding to make that person perfect for you. And I would choose Linda over and over again, even now.